This is the Great Sudoku for AngryMarks.com, coming at you here on the 24th of July, 2015 for your G1 Climax recap. And we'll get right into it here today. We had much better production value on the show today. There were multiple camera angles. It wasn't just one hard cam. The lighting was a lot better. There was no entrance lighting that drowned out anything in the ring. You could see the ring while the entrances were going on. Muted entrance music, which is kind of stupid. I guess there's legal reasons that New Japan does this, but otherwise the production value was way, way, way better than it was yesterday, so that was something good to see. We'll get to our undercard preliminary matches first. They were all tag matches, and then we'll get to the G1 Climax A-Block matches that took place tonight. First match on the card was Yohei Komatsu, Tiger Mask, Jushin Liger, and Satoshi Kojima taking on Michael Elgin, Mascara Dorada, David Finlay, and Jay White. The match was one when Kojima hit Finlay with a very mediocre-looking clothesline, kind of weak-looking, not super weak, but not super strong either. Got a pinfall victory there. Though the big takeaway from this match that I came away with, and I actually tweeted this when I was watching the match, Satoshi Kojima must have a Napoleon complex, because after the match he started getting into the pushing and shoving match with Michael Elgin, and I'm thinking he just wants to kind of take out any wrestler that's bigger than him, because he got into it with Tomohiro Ishii on Monday, and today he's getting into it with Michael Elgin, and it's like I put the hashtag settle down Beavis on Twitter, because yeah, Kojima, you're going to get your block knocked off if you keep going after these big guys. So yeah. So that's kind of what I took away from that match, that Satoshi Kojima definitely has a bit of a Napoleon complex going on. Match number 2 of the night was just a regular tag team match. We had Yoshihashi and Tomohiro Ishii versus Bullet Club of Cody Hall and Yujiro Takahashi. Yeah, this match, Yoshihashi won it by pinfall after hitting a nice swanton off the top turnbuckle onto Cody Hall, and it was lights out, 1, 2, 3. Not much to say about this match, but yeah, it was a good swanton that Yoshihashi hit, and nice to see Chaos pick up a victory there with the Bullet Club. Match number 3, the less I say about this one, the better. We had Captain New Japan and Haruko Goto versus Carl Anderson and Tama Tonga. And this was nothing more than a comedy match, mostly at the expense of Captain New Japan, who did, a few dives and reversals that didn't connect, and that was kind of the comedy in the match. Bullet Club gets the win. Carl Anderson pinned Captain New Japan after like the third Carl cutter of the match, and like I said, the less we say about this match, the better. It was just a comedy match. We'll move on to the next match. The last of the preliminary matches, I believe, yes, was Tomokai Hanma, Ryosuke Taguchi, Yuji Nagata taking on Chaos, the Chaos A-team pretty much of Shinsuke Nakamura, Kazuchika Okada, and Gato. Hanma ends up pinning Gato, but there's sort of a bigger to this match. During the ring introductions, Nakamura comes into the ring, goes to Taguchi, kicks him right in the gut, and I'm thinking this is perhaps retribution for Taguchi impersonating Nakamura last night, doing the Bomaye, doing his swagsuke, but it was good to see Nakamura come into the ring and just give a boot right to Taguchi's gut, because hey, he's stealing his shit, and that was nice to see. So and that wraps up the preliminary matches. We'll get right into the G1 Climax A-Blocks match. First one of the night was Doc Gallows versus Kota Ibushi, and Ibushi picks up a win in this, but I will say this, the finish to the match looked very, very sloppy. Both of them were kind of botching reversals back and forth between Gallows trying to hit a powerbomb on Ibushi, and then Ibushi trying to reverse that into a Hurricane Rana, and they both kind of botched the reversals on it, or the fake reversals, or whatever they were going for. It looked really, really sloppy. Ibushi finally ended up doing a sunset flip roll-up over Doc Gallows' back, got the pinfall victory. Again, it looked very, very, very sloppy, and the match was just starting to take off too, so it was very anticlimactic and very sloppy. Yeah, not much to write home with about this match. We'll move on to the next one. Sixth match of the night, and your second G1 Climax Block A match of the night was Togi Makabe versus Bad Luck Fale, and holy upset in the making here, Batman. Yes, indeed, Bad Luck Fale gets a pinfall victory over the Never Open champion. He just about cut Makabe in half with a spear, just launched him halfway across the ring with a border toss, cover 1, 2, 3. There's not really so much to talk about with this match. I mean, those were about the only two wrestling moves that actually took place in this match. It was essentially just a brawl until the very end, where Filet came up with two wrestling moves out of the blue, and bam, 1, 2, 3. There you go. Bad luck, Filet gets a win over your Never Open champion, and I did not expect that one. All right, we'll move on to the next match of the night, match number 7, and the third G1 Climax A-Block match of the night was AJ Styles versus Toru Yano. And if you've listened to my audio recaps or read my written recaps on AngryMarks.com, you know, and I was really looking forward to him getting his block knocked off by AJ Styles in this match. And in a way, that kind of happened because Styles did make Yano top out to a reverse leg lock. I mean, I'm happy to see him tap out like a little bitch, so that was pretty fun to watch, and I'd be really happy if Styles, you know, had actually like broke Yano's leg in the match, because then he'd be out of the tournament and I wouldn't have to watch him anymore. One thing that I noticed in this match was Styles seemed to get legit pissed at Red Shoes, the referee in this match, at a couple points. There was one point where Red Shoes was trying to wrestle a chair away from AJ Styles. He was trying to, you know, clock Yano over the head because Yano had used the chair against him earlier in the match, and Styles actually yells at Red Shoes, "Hey, he hit me with it!" You know, saying, you know, he wants to hit him with it, but yeah, Red Shoes would have none of that, stole the chair from him, so Styles didn't get to clock Yano with the chair. And then later on in the match, Styles goes for this really cocky pin. He just kind of gingerly places his foot on the chest of a down Yano, and Red Shoes refuses to make the count, and Styles just gets irate. So I don't know if that was planned or if there's some legit heat there, or if there's kind of a language barrier, but it was kind of an interesting theme to note in that match. But again, AJ Styles is your winner. He goes over the little bitch Toru Yano like he should. And we'll move on to the next match of the night, Tetsuya Naito versus Katsuyori Shibata. And again, in this one, Naito comes out to the ring in his skull in a suit. That kind of sounds like a Dr. Seuss character, the skull in a suit. But he came out with that, you know, dollar store skull mask with the hood and the suit. And again, it took him about 12 years to finally start to shed his entrance gear. But yeah, Katsuyori Shibata became one of my new favorite wrestlers when he just didn't even wait for Naito to disrobe. He was just impatient, came over, kneed Naito in the gut while he still had the mask on. He flipped Naito's mask around at one time, kicked him right in the head. Once Naito's mask was off and Naito was just kind of standing on the ring apron, taking up as much time as he could, Shibata had enough of that, charged at him, kicked him in the head, sent him flying off the ring apron. At one point, Naito did get back into the ring and finally took off his suit like halfway through the match, but I mean, yeah, it really took Naito, you know, drop kicking. I guess he was supposed to drop kick Shibata's leg, but it missed. Naito kind of drop kicked the guardrail Shibata was sitting on. Shibata like sold it like he got hit in the leg, and then Naito went into the ring and took his suit off. But yeah, taking it off halfway through the match, it's like, look, New Japan, we are aware that Naito is a heel. When you do this thing where it takes him 3 years to take off his entrance gear, that is not heel tactics. That is X-Pac heat. That is something that I get sick of. That is something that the fans in attendance get sick of. You know, either pull the trigger with Naito or don't, but don't have him do this just bullshit of keeping his ring gear on. That's just kind of stupid. But one other point of note in this match was Shibata went old school and kind of invoked Masahiro Kono in this. He did that stomping a mud hole Chono style on Naito in the corner with the face rake with the boot. And yeah, just seeing Naito, you know, he's got X-Pac heat from me, so seeing him take the boots to the face was just something I enjoyed seeing there. Finish to this match, Shibata locks in a sleeper on Naito. He had it like cinched in for a good minute, lets Naito just kind of fall down to the mat on his ass. Shibata runs the rope, rebounds back, just about kicks Naito's head off, one head. Rolls up Naito. There's your victory. Naito loses, Shibata wins. And we'll head to the main event now. The last match of the card was Hiroshi Tenzan versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. You got Hiroyoshi versus Hiroshi. And I felt like I was in Bizarro World watching this match because the crowd was cheering Tenzan and booing Tanahashi. And I can't remember the last time that the New Japan fans actually booed Tanahashi. I mean, there was one point in the match, I mean, Tanahashi played along with this, and there was one point where he mocked Hiroshi Tenzan by clubbing Tenzan with two of his own Mongolian-style chops, and the fans just rained in with the boos after that. Yeah, Tanahashi did his best to kind of play things up like a heel in this match because that's kind of how it was going. I don't know if there was an audible that he called, like when The Rock and Hogan, faced off in Toronto, and you just kind of have to play it by how the crowd's going. But yeah, Tanahashi just kind of rolled with the punches there, and he actually got the win in this match. Hit a sling blade on Tenzin. Red Shoes was really slow to make the count on the cover, and Tenzin managed to kick out at 2.9. Tanahashi springs up, goes to the top turnbuckle. He hits the high fly foil on Tenzin. 1, 2, 3, and match is over. So Tanahashi gets the win in the main event. Tenzin gets the loss, and it just really didn't seem like much of a main event to me. There really wasn't much that went on in the match that was worth mentioning. There was that Anaconda Vice Rock bottom thing that Tenzin does. That was kind of cool looking, but it just really didn't feel like a main event to me. It was just kind of very bizarre too, as I said earlier, to see Tanahashi getting booed. It felt like Bizarro World. But yeah, that's it. Your main event winner, it was Hiroshi Tanahashi. That was my recap for the G1 Climax, July 24th, 2015. Again, this is the Great Sudoku for AngryMarks.com. If you have any comments, any suggestions, any feedback for me on these reviews, you can get at me on Twitter at Great Sudoku.